All right, all right. What's going on, party people? We are back with another one. Now, we're still doing this HELOC, okay? And it really doesn't matter which one. On this one, I'm going to show you how to go through and work when you work with a situation where you have two people signing, but only one of them is with you, and the person is ready to sign, and you don't feel like, well, they don't want to wait on the other person to get there. They might be stuck in traffic, and different little things that you can do to set the documents up so you can get straight to it for them. All right. So we've already gone through the preliminaries. So while the other person is trying to get here, you go through. How you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Lovely home.
Thank you.
That's good. Sound like you're cooking some beans and some rice and everything.
Yes.
That's all right. All right. So this here is your right to cancel. They just need, you have 3 business days, not including Sunday and holidays. Today is this day, and you have to that date to decide whether you want to keep the loan. Do not sign where it says I wish to cancel. If you sign there, you're canceling the loan. You have copies of all of this in your packet, and they'll just need you to sign and date on all 3 of these here. All right. Now, depending on how things are with your documents, what you can do, now these next 3 is for the other person. They're not here yet, okay? So sometimes what you can do is just set these sideways. So that way you'll know they need to sign these here, okay? All right, thank you. And while they're doing that, going through, getting the note together. And sometimes I'll just go ahead on and set the next document right there in front of them. So that way, once they finish, they'll go ahead on and grab that. All right, so now I went through, got my deed together, the deed of trust. Now on these, they need to initial. So now I need, this is your promissory note. First payment is this date here. What we need you to do is initial on each page, the first page, the second page, and then sign and date. All right. So I know these 3 are signed. Stick those right there. I check, make sure that's signed. Initial, excellent. And then they're going to initial, and in this case, on this here, they're going to date. So on some notes, they want them to date it with the HELOC. Some of them they don't. So on this one, they do. Now, in this case, for example purpose only, in this case, we're not going to have them sign the note because we're going to pretend like they're not on the note, okay? Just on certain documents, meaning the spouse, okay? Now, they are on the deed, and the reason why, because we got these documents that's set out here that they need to sign. This here, they don't need to sign this because they're not on it, all right? So this is the deed of trust. Please initial each one of those. Now, let's say you didn't get a chance to prep your documents. What you can simply do is go ahead on and start doing that now, and then put their names in there, boom, boom, and all of that. Don't sign and date it. Don't sign it yet. Put the date and all of that. You have that ready to go. Right. And while they're getting that together, I have another one here that I need to get prepped. Get all of that. Gotta print my name. Do all of that. All righty. And then this here's the signature page for the deed. Now, because the next person has to sign it, I'm sticking it over here with this sticking out that way. And then I have the next document, which is a compliance agreement. And then I'm going ahead on and prepping this. All right. So now that they have that, then I go ahead on and do my signature, stamp, because I already had it prepped. All right. And then this here is just a signature affidavit just for them. Do that part, do that. All right. This here is for him. And that's there. They're going to need to sign this. There we go. And guess what? I just heard them come in, so they'll be coming in and sitting down. And what I'm going to do, since we're pretty much at the end, I'm just going to have them sit there and wait till we're done. Because at this point, I haven't done the ID check. I haven't sworn them in or any of that. Okay? So now I put my expiration date. All right. Thank you. And sign that one. So now we're going to fast forward and say that we did all of that. We had him do the ID check, all of that good stuff. So once she's finished, now she's going to hand him the document. And this is that. And he's going to sign. Boom, she's going to do that one. And keep in mind, this is from the standpoint that they've already reviewed the documents. They already know what they're signing. They don't want to hear my mouth explaining anything to them, okay? So now, if you want to explain, you go ahead on, but you need to learn how to read the room. And if you see him or her looking a little cockeyed at you because you're sitting here talking and explaining something to them that they've already reviewed, you probably want to stop doing that, okay? All right. So now I go back. I've already know that he doesn't need to sign these. Everything that's sticking out is what the person who just got here needs to sign. So need you to sign and date all three of these, write the cancels, and you can explain, give them the brief summary of what the right to cancel is for them. Those already signed. The promissory note is already signed. In this case, they're not on it. Then we have the deed. All right. Need you to initial each page down at the bottom and then sign and date the last one. All right. And at this point in time, that due to the fact that they've already finished signing and they got some good food cooking, hey, can I get a bowl to take with me? I'm just messing, y'all. I'm just messing, y'all. Now this one I didn't prep, so I'm gonna go through, get all of that done for when they sign it, all of that good stuff. Now, if you feel you've been watching and you seem like the person is not paying attention to where they need to sign, that's where you can pull your arrows out, stick your arrows there, sign. Now, one of the things that you need to be mindful of when it comes to the arrows, there's a little small portion that's clear that might be hard for them to see, and if they're a person that writes big, they do one of those big signatures, they could accidentally write across your sticker. Then when you pull it off, part of their signature is missing. So be mindful of that. You might have to stick it somewhere where you can say just sign on the signature line, things of that nature. Because sometimes individuals, they don't do a lot of these legal things, so they might not be familiar, and they will thinking they need to sign next to the name instead of on the line above it where it says signature. All right, need you to sign and date. All right. All right. Looking good, looking good. All right, and remember they've already signed both of these here. And then I have my ID verification for their IDs, 2 forms of ID. And actually I would have already filled that out at the beginning. So when I come, I will have this at the beginning, get their IDs, fill all that out, and then boom, I'm good to go. So that's another HELOC. This one is when you have two customers and they're both not there with you at the same time, but one of them is like, look, we're on a tight schedule. We need to get this going because we don't know how long. Not a problem. And there have been times where I've actually been there with one, and then they might have their grown kids or whatever there, or their more growner kids, like 15, 17 or whatever, and that person be like, deuces, I'm out. And then I just sit there and wait for the other person to come along and meet them. Or you might have to do it with them here and then go somewhere else and meet the other person. Be flexible, but stay focused on doing the notarizations correctly, and everything will turn out just fine. So that's it for another training. Thank y'all. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Peace.